Yo, 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 good people. It's your homie HerbMan. Busting you back upside the head with another hot banger. Boogie, please go tell somebody to go tell somebody your homie HerbMan is on. And if you're new to the program, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please follow, like, share, and subscribe on all the platforms at Love HerbMan. All right. So I am your neighborhood holistic practitioner. I'm your homie HerbMan. We're coming live from South Africa. You guys live on TikTok, live on YouTube. Please go and do what you need to do to be notified each and every time the HerbMan show comes on. Now we come on every day between the times of 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. But we can do what we need to do to facilitate whoever need to be facilitated if you need to be facilitated, all right? What we do here on the HerbMan Show is teach people how to heal themselves. And you cannot heal yourself unless you know thyself, all right? So we teach you guys here about the human frame and the human design so that you can be well on your way to happiness, wholeness, and wellness, all right? So this is a free information station. You don't have to pay for anything that you hear here today. All you got to do to pay for anything is pay attention. And how you do that on the HerbMan Show is simply by double tapping that screen and getting us up to 100,000 likes during the live broadcast. Once we get to 1,000 likes, we'll get into the subject matter at hand. We've been teaching you guys, man, for months into years now about this esoteric, this spiritual understanding of how to heal yourself. There has never been a time in our ancestral understanding that we healed ourselves without paying attention to the spiritual. There has never been a time in our ancestral, in our historical understanding to where we did not combine a physical thing with a spiritual thing, or a physical thing with a natural phenomenon, right? We was always into nature, always trying to find out the root causation of something. Sometimes it was more spiritual, it was more demonic than what it really was, but we always connected the mind with the body. Okay. And what we have been teaching and what comes out of that ancestral teaching is this theory that you can live forever. And what you have started to understand based on that theory of everlasting life is that you can't physically do it. Now, listen to what I'm teaching you guys here. This is going to be on YouTube, you guys. If you miss it, you can go on YouTube and get it. As soon as we finish, it will be downloaded, as long as these folk don't mess with the live, all right? So what I be teaching you is trying to get you to understand this particular realm in a better way. You got your world that you came into, and then you got the earth's pattern for your life. None of us really knows earth patterns for our life. None of us really knows God's will for our life. You end up bumping into it, running into it, of never even being able to meet your purpose in this lifespan. And that's why it is a crying shame to be here and not know purpose, to be here and not know the will for your life, to be here and feel out of place, to be here and feel like it's a rat race, to be here and feel like everything is too hard, to be here and feel like there's so many stumbling blocks, to be here and feel blocked and feel blocked in and in prison, to be here and feel enslaved and feel like you don't have any power over your circumstances. This is a travesty for those who are coming into this paradigm and leaving out with that experience. It's a travesty to come into this paradigm and leave out with those experiences, never being able to have anything convince you of anything else. It is because you came into a world that was created for you, but not by God, not by earth. You came into a world that was created for you by man. So you came in upon a man's laws, upon a man's systems to teach you how to learn and obey man's laws. But you never really got taught earth life's patterns, earth laws, and you never really understood the value then of everlasting life. Look, we are extensions of our ancestors. Where they left off at ain't all written in stone. It ain't a period behind it. We are generations that are supposed to supersede and supposed to exceed. So everything that our ancestor says got a comma on it. It don't got a period. So it is up to us to be able to extend the research, extend the information, extend the understanding to the modern man, to our particular people who are evolving through time. Then that information has to evolve. You can't just stay with Pythagorean theorem. You just can't stay with this this calendar, this Gregorian calendar. You can't just stay with these things. You have to continue. Nothing that they did is etched in stone and put a period behind it. We are the next generation. Everything they did has a comma. It's an and. Okay? It has a comma. And what else have we gathered? What else have we realized? What else have we gotten to? And so we're taking our ancestors' information as if it's the law when it's just a part of the time that they had to learn something. Then you got to extend it. It ain't finished yet. So that means that they don't know nothing about death. They don't know nothing about life. They don't know nothing about health. They don't know nothing about wealth. They were trying to know it in the limited time that they're in, just like you. But we can extend the knowledge. But what we're doing is trying to say that what they said is true and what they said is facts and what they said is just, it is what it is. And that's what we're running into, not being able to understand how to be able to do this thing. So we've already written off, there's no physical way to live everlasting. We've already written that off. There's no physical way to live forever because of oxidative stress, because of aging, because of accidents, whatever you may call it, that's already been written off. You cannot live everlasting in the body, so they say. But what they've come up with is our everlasting theology, and our everlasting theory is that your soul lives forever and your spirit lives forever and energy never dies. But that ain't what we're talking about. What is a spirit and a soul and an energy if it ain't got my human mind attached to it? How am I supposed to feel the way I feel now in that capacity? When you get to heaven, you dead. Your five senses ain't there. How does that feel? Because all you know how to feel with is your five senses. All you know how to instinctively and intuitively understand and decode is the physical things of life. You don't know nothing about what you didn't know nothing about. Again, you came in from your womb. What did you know in your mama's belly? Nothing. So what you gonna know in the grave? Nothing, because your senses are not yet appropriate because you haven't came into the earth realm. And then when you leave the earth realm, goes the senses. So how does heaven feel and think and see? Because you're writing it from the mind. You ain't writing it from experience. You're writing what you want it to be, what you dream for it to be, what your daydream of it is, what your true dream of it is, what your ideal of it is. But you ain't never experienced it and came back and told nobody how things are, because this is the feat that everybody's trying to get to. But you've already written off that the body cannot live everlasting. You've said that in nature, there's a cyclical law in nature where things will be born and things will die. You said your cells get rebirthed and your cells die. You said that the plants come, the cells and the plants die, and this come and this die. But that ain't really who you are up against to be examples of in the earth's pattern. When you're looking at the earth's pattern, you don't look at pets. You got dominion over the animals. When you're in earth's pattern, you don't look at the plants. You got dominion over the plants. When you're in earth's pattern, you don't look at these menial things, because you remember you are a demigod. You come from God. You're made in the image of God. So you can't be looking for straight physical things to come in and identify yourself as, to be able to understand, okay, so things are coming and going. You have yet to identify with the demi and the God in you. So what I told you guys before, and I'll tell you again today, is that demigod, the word demigod ain't nothing but what? One part of you is everlasting. One part of you is immortal. That's what a demigod is. One part of you is everlasting and immortal, while the other part of you can reproduce. Okay, you can reproduce with women, with other human beings. So you have a reproductive quality in you, and then you also have an immortal quality. But what you don't fail to realize is that both of these has to work together. What's in you that will keep you immortal? Your reproductive qualities. It is your reproduction of your cells that keep you living. It is the regeneration of your cells that keep you living. So you'll see that as long as you can reproduce, you have something to live for. It's only because you're dying is when you too hurt, when you too sick, when you too whatever to reproduce something in a day that you feel like life ain't nothing. right? So it is in this reproduction that you see the connection between being able to reproduce and being immortal. Now, what I'm trying to do with the owner's manual here, and I just want to let y'all know that, is we're trying to use your reproductive energy. Okay, when they talk about the kundalini rising up, they're talking about the Christos, right? It's coming from your sacral chakra. Your sacral chakra is your reproductive organs, and they produce particular hormones that are life force to everything in your, as far as your living, right? Because if you had estrogen and progesterone, then that means that you got eggs that are ready to be able to reproduce you. If you had testosterone, then that means that you got a motility, you got the virility that it needs to be able to reproduce. So it's in this sacral chakra that we're using this sacral chakra energy because it's reproductive energy. But not only is this reproductive energy in the sacral chakra, but it's also reproductive energy in the pineal or the hypothalamus, right? The mind. So you got a womb here and a womb here. You can't go back and rebirth through the womb, so you rebirth yourself through the mind. So what we're trying to get you to understand is that the reproductive part of you is that lower self. That's the side of you that you just cannot control. That's that animal instinct, that basic instinct, but it's necessary. It's not the bad part of you. It's not the wrong part of you. It's not the evil part of you. It's not the devil part of you. It is the necessary part of you that you need to value, and then you need to understand how to manage this part of you, right? So now we have this body part, we have this reproductive side of us, and then we have this immortal part. You remember they said that the soul never dies, the spirit never dies, energy never dies. Well, that means that the mind is equal to the spirit, and this is where you get this overflow of being able to pull from. See, when you can no longer reproduce healing, when you can no longer reproduce money and wealth, when you can no longer reproduce the type of social life you're looking for, when you can no longer reproduce in your life, then the only other thing that you got in you, demigod, is your everlasting immortality. And what I'm trying to get you to do is pull from the demigod in you, pull from the God in you. When you sick and you broke and medicine and man can't fix you and machine can't fix you, then you got to go to Mama Nature. That's the other M. When man can't fix you, when they medications can't fix you, when they machines can't fix you, then you got to go to somebody else, and it's called Mama Nature. And so we're giving you the best of nature-based interventions that you could even ask for on the planet. This ain't got nothing to do with no fucking TikTok or social media or YouTube or anything else. This got something to do with giving you something that you've never ever heard and seen before, that is going to be rudimentary at the fundamental basis of your healthcare system moving forward. You're going to demand nature-based interventions. You might not know it. You're going to demand better food. You might not know it right now. You're going to demand better water. You might not know it right now. You're going to demand better air, but you don't know it right now because you're not in, you know, some of you guys are just subscribers and followers, but there's some of us that ain't that. And what you're not understanding is that I'm just preparing you for something that may be beyond my time. But it is still going to be a necessary thing. Everything happens for a reason. It's a reason why I'm on here teaching you guys this information this way, talking about your health and your wealth in the way of astrology that nobody else has done. I ain't the only one that know medical astrology, but there's no medical astrologist that can hang with me doing this. I ain't the only person that know astrology, but there's no astrologist that can hang with me doing this right here. I ain't the only one that know medical and body, but there's no doctor that can hang with me doing this right here. Okay? So what we got to be able to do is understand that the brother is telling us that it is your reproducing energy that keeps you everlasting. It is your reproducing energy that keeps you everlasting. Well, what happens when you age? You start slowing down your reproductive, right? The man starts slowing down reproducing, the woman starts slowing down reproducing. And this ain't just got nothing to do with just the baby part of you, but you start slowing down reproducing in the creative side of you. You know, you ain't working no more, you ain't got to do this no more, you ain't got no that's why they tell people, if you look at the blue zones, all them people in the blue zone still got shit to do. I remember when I was in the military, man, there was a dude that was welding. I ain't see him welding. He was just under there welding before I got to work. By the time I got to work, they said, hey, look, he got a little rope right there. You just guide the rope. When he tell you he ready, you just guide the rope back. I said, all right, cool. The man already up under them. By the time I saw this man, it was lunchtime. When the brother come up off of there, he was a Japanese man. He was all wrinkled up, looked like the oldest motherfucker on the planet. He was 88 years old in a space about this big, and he had slid up under there to weld something together. So still being able to move, still being able to be physically fit, still being able to work, still being able to have a hobby, still being able to do things. That's why those folks out there doing Tai Chi early in the morning, they ain't got shit to do just like you. Your ass over there retired, they is too, but they ain't tired. They might be retired, but they not tired in the body. Just because you start working don't mean that you stop working. Just because you in summer, just because it's summer in school don't mean you stop learning. That ain't never a time away from working, from living, from doing, from being, from becoming. So you see a lot of our people, as soon as they retire, about 5 or 10 years from there, they dead because they want to just sit on their ass and drink and smoke and eat. You can't do that. Just because you start working for them folk don't mean that you stop working for you. Just because you start working for them folk don't mean that you stop working for you. Just because you out of school for summer break don't mean that you stop learning. School ain't the only place that's going to teach you and educate you. Life, motherfucker, open up your eyes and look. That video game ain't going to do nothing for you. I always tell my son, summertime means a time out for school, but not a time out for learning. You always got to be learning. I might not give you schoolwork, but you better keep your motherfucking head on the swivel out here in this life. Talking about you on break. Somebody bust you upside the head because you taking a break from learning and thinking and looking in your surroundings. That's crazy. Always be learning. Always be learning. Right? And so we're looking at this information and we're saying that this side of you, you've been reading it in the Bible, you've been reading it in the Quran, you've been reading it in your Torah, you've been reading it in the Kabbalah, you've been reading it in these particular things, but you've never ever been able to really physically get this. Remember, nobody did this. Even Jesus died, but then you say he rose again. But anybody that's everlasting ain't never came back. This has never ever happened on the planet, you guys. So you have just given up on this particular mindset. And I'm telling you that your ancestors, this is what they was about. They knew that death happened. They saw death. They saw babies die. They saw people die. They saw shortness of life, the length of life. They saw all of that too. But this is what they were going after. So they wrote on the walls in Egypt their mentality, their dream of what everlasting life looked like. That ain't heaven on the damn walls. Ain't nobody been there to come back to tell you that. That is your mind saying, hey, this is what heaven looks like. Just like your Bible is saying streaks of gold and milk and honey and diamonds and rubies, because that's what your mind feels like heaven is. But if you get into the earth's life pattern and you get out of your world, if you stop creating shit just in your world and look what's already created and then start looking at things, remember, you don't measure yourself up to the plants and the pets and the animals on earth. When you're looking for everlasting, then you got to start looking at the planets. You got to start looking at the stars. You got to start looking at the moon. You got to start looking at the earth. You got to start looking at the air. You got to start looking at the water, my friends, because that's where you come from. You don't come from the plant and the pet. Remember that the Bible said you got dominion over all that stuff, but it didn't tell you that you got dominion over the earth. It didn't tell you that you were going to be able to dictate the earth spin and dictate the planetary movements and dictate the sun's rotation and dictate. It didn't tell you that. So then you don't measure yourself up to these things that are lesser than you. You measure yourself up to things that have the same understanding as you. And you have not yet seen your qualities in the Son of God because you've been putting Jesus on it. But I'm telling you to remove the veil. Stop looking at the personification of nature and just start looking at nature. Come on, somebody. Just remove the personification, because that's the blockage. That's the blockage between you and nature, is that it was a white man and it was an Indian man and it was a black man and it was a long hair, curly hair man. It was a nappy hair man. It was a woolly hair man. It was a golden bronze skin man. And that's the enmity between you and nature, between you and God, is how the story was told. And we're missing these points. And so when somebody like myself gets up here and put his life on the line to tell you that you can heal yourself because you're already doing it, you don't believe it. Oh yeah, they've been saying that, and if everybody could heal themselves, then why? But you've been healing yourself. You've been had things going on in the darkness of your body that you had nothing that you could do about it, but your body readjusted itself. Your body rejuvenated itself. Your body recalibrated itself. Your body got you over there. So there's been plenty of time. You skinned your knee, you cut your arm, you cut your finger, you did this, that, and the third, and you got better. You got better. So we know that the body can heal itself. That is a fact. But what I'm trying to get you to understand is that you don't know how to tap into this. So you say the soul is everlasting. Well, tap into it when your body is going to be feeble and leave here limited. If you say that your spirit is everlasting, y'all theorists out there, well then tap into it when your motherfucking ass is broke out here. When you say that your energy is forever living, then tap into it when you ain't got a pot to piss in. Because I'm tired of you saying you know something, but when you go through something, it seems like you don't know shit. I'm tired of it now. I'm tired of it. Mama, grandmama, I don't give a damn who y'all call yourself. I'm tired of you coming over here talking about what you know. But in your time of need, it seems like you don't know nothing. How can you be so knowing, but so powerless? Because we've been told the story the wrong way. So I want you guys to look at this real quick. I got some receipts. Keep tapping, you guys. I'll keep talking. Keep tapping. I'll keep talking. Service is bad. It's frozen. Anybody see that the video is frozen? Am I frozen or am I on? What's going on, Ilio? Am I frozen or am I on? Connection in mind over matter. Yes, sir. Am I frozen or am I on? Talk to me, YouTubers. Can you see me? I know my YouTube doing good. Okay, everybody say we on, we popping. All right, I got to make sure because I don't want to keep talking until these folk allow me to be able to get into this algorithm. I'm finna interfere with their frequency. They've been interfering with our frequency. You turn McDonald's on and did that and the third. Almost like you read my mind. You turn McDonald's on. You turn Burger King on. You turn the car loan on. All I said was I'm looking for a car. And that thing, is all on my Facebook. It's all on my Instagram. So you're already interfering with my frequency. Then it's time for us to start interfering with their frequency. So you want me to be able to talk free on social media? Fine. You want to be able to use this the way don't nobody got to. So I can use YouTube, Instagram, TikTok for free. Guess what? I'm finna interfere with your frequency. And while you out here trying to put out bad information, while you out here trying to put out bad energy, TikTok, while you out here trying to spread bad energy over the colossal of the mankind, guess what? There's going to be a few of us that's going to keep on trying to interfere with your algorithms of doing that. There's going to be a few of us, YouTube, that's going to keep on trying to interfere with your algorithms of trying to spread out this bad energy throughout the planet, this false information. This misinformation, this half truth, this good information but bad application that you're spreading around the planet. I'll repeat, this good information but bad application that you're spreading around the planet. So I'm going to fit in where I fit in until you cut me up off this motherfucker. I'm going to ride your free waves to interfere with you with what you're trying to do with the energy of the people. That's what we're going to do. And when you don't like me no more, then we'll go to another thing. I'll use another mode of communication. Okay? But we're not going to be playing with you. So it is in this understanding that if these things are everlasting, then why can't you cross over to that and use that? You know why? Because you've been reading crossover, but you haven't been taught how to cross over. That's what the owner's manual is all about, and that's what we're offering you. Okay? That's why we keep pushing this. The Bible is teaching you transition. The Bible is teaching you to crossover, but you can't see it through the stories. So you thinking that a whole bunch of people really walked through a Red Sea that was departed. No, but it's about transition. So you think that Adam and Eve really were people who saw them there. They were the only people there. So who the fuck saw them to write the story? That's the first question you ask. If they're the first two people, then who wrote the story? who went down to write the story? Who saw them? Okay, so cut it out. It's about transition. So we put two spectrals of your mind, right? That's what we're using. Adam and Eve, lower self, higher self, right? The body and the mind. We use these to show you how to work these two together. So they got in trouble together. Now, I want to teach you something really quick right here at this moment. I'm going to pull up these receipts, but listen to me. Soon as the mind and the body wanted to get out of the will of, that's all it was. Remember that in the Garden of Eden, they were everlasting. Adam and Eve was immortal. That means that your thoughts and your body came by design to be immortal. Adam and Eve is your mind and your body. The snake represents your thoughts. In the beginning, Adam and Eve, the mind and the body was made everlasting. It was made everlasting. When you bit the fruit of a thought to be God rather than your demigod, right? You didn't want to be no demigod, you wanted to be God, right? That thought came into your mind. That's not a snake, it's a thought. The thought came into your mind to, I want to be able to control my own will, your world. You want to build your own world. You don't want to be in this shit with God. God done create all these animals. These motherfuckers don't want to bite nobody. They ain't barking at nobody. They ain't growling at nobody. They ain't fighting with nobody. There ain't nobody fussing. Ain't nobody cussing. I don't see no birds fucking on. I don't see nothing going on. Don't nobody want this shit. Earth life's pattern. So you negated Earth life. Your mind said, fuck Earth's life pattern. I want to create my own world. Your mind said it. This is the story of Adam and Eve. And as soon as you said, I want to create my own world, then you got hit with time. As soon as you said that I want to create my own world, but since I'm a God, I'll do it myself. So now, what God had it where you didn't even have to hunt no meat. You didn't even have to kill no animals. You didn't even have to do nothing. In Earth's life pattern, again, with all these fruits and vegetables, why you got to kill anything? Because you're not looking at Earth's life pattern. So I'm trying to teach y'all. Please watch and listen. It's a mind thing. It ain't got nothing to do with nothing else. So your world, you chose your world over life's pattern for your, I just call it Earth life pattern. Y'all know I'm talking about God. Y'all know who the hell I'm talking about. You chose your world over Earth's life pattern, but you know who I'm talking about. And my point to you is that you did that so long ago that it ain't new today. So the thing is, then you look at those stories and you got to be able to fix the problem. Soon as you chose your world, you got under time constraint. Remember that as soon as you did that, they banished you out of the Garden of Eden. So you got banished out of everlasting life and got hit with a time tag. Oh yeah, you got God-like qualities where your ass won't live forever. You got hit under time. How do you go back home? How do you go back home? Anybody know? How do you go back home? Or manifested motion within and into a visual application within the physical? I hear you talking. I hear you talking. How do you go back home? How do you go back home? You go back home by getting off under time. Time is the son of God. It ain't God. God is change. God is change. And sometimes you got to change. And the point is that this time is keeping you structured and limited and confined to laws and structures and policies and procedures that are just appropriate for your world, but they have no connection to Earth's pattern for your life, God's plan for your life. And all I'm saying is don't throw your world away. Let's align the two. It's okay to be a creator with the creator. God ain't that mad. Nature ain't, You can't do nothing about with nature. So nature, you can't stop nature from doing what they're gonna do anyway. Right? So it's this pattern that you don't want to live under with nature, that you prefer to live under from your own provision and from your own security and from your own paradigm and from your own outlook on life. You feel like that you can navigate. But what I'm telling you is that when you came out of this particular womb, then you came into time. But time ain't really in control. The only thing that could defeat time in this particular thing is your love for change. Love defeated time and put change back on the throne. Listen to what I just said. Love defeated time and put change back on the throne. Now look at your Bible and listen to what I'm trying to get you to understand. That Jesus represented love, which represented Venus, really, which was a female, right? He represented love. So the demonic things that were going on around there, he was fighting against time. Remember the end of the world. The Bible was like the end of the world to those people. Jesus was trying to let them know this ain't the end of the world. You can live forever if you understand your connections and know thyself. So I am love coming in to try to tell you that time don't rule you. Change is the God of this paradigm. And so guess what? When I leave, I'll come with a comforter. And that comforter is going to be a man with a pitcher of water. And that man with that pitcher of water in Greek is called Aquarius. Right? And that Aquarian age is where we are today. And that Aquarian age where we are today is ruled by Uranus. And Uranus is the planet of change. So that's why we're changing right before your eyes. That's why you see me. I'm changing the medical industry on social media. And it's just not me. And they ain't gonna like that. We're going to change how the pharmaceutical companies are doing business. And they ain't going to like that. I don't give a damn. That's the other part of this. The first part of this is we're changing. We're changing how we think about the education systems, how we think about governing ourselves and the governments, how we think about war and peace, how we think about financial banking, how we think about rules and regulations of all these different things. We are evolving. We are changing. And so what I'm saying is that embrace that pattern because that's where you're in. You're in a pattern of change, but you keep fighting against it. So now when you get sick, you mad because you got sick, like that ain't a part of the game. It's okay for the body to be in a particular problem because bodies do that. That's the physical part of this nature. That's the animalistic basic instinct. That's the earth pattern. Sometimes you'll scratch your leg. Sometimes you'll bruise yourself. Sometimes you'll hurt yourself because you don't know the elements. You got to get used to the terrain. So that's okay. But it is when the mind is in a different place that we can create the synergy that's needed. They told us that your body cannot live forever based on oxidative stress, aging, and incidents. But they said that your spirit can, they said that your soul can, and they said that your energy can. That's what they ended up saying. And I'm telling you that if that's the case, why can't you get in tune with that to help the body? If I have an everlasting quality in me, if I have a superior thing in me that can overwhelm, that can oversee, that can fix something that maybe I can't mechanically fix myself with man, with medications or with machine, then why I can't tap into that to make this happen with me? It's because you haven't been taught how to go inward, how to go inner. Your prayer life is external. You praying outside of you, but have you talked to yourself? Your eyesight is external. You looking outside, outdoors, out the window. You looking everywhere, out everything. But did you look inward? Have you ever used your eyes to look inward? Your mouth started running. You talking outward, but have you ever used your mouth to speak life inside yourself? Your ears are studied trying to pick up everything outside of you, but have you ever closed them just to hear your own heartbeat? Not the beat of Lil Wayne, not the beat of Kendrick Lamar, but the beat of your heart. Not the beat of the drummer at the church, but the beat of your heart. Have you ever did it? And so when you'll see that when we're able to internalize things, then we're able to find this magic, this miracle that resides in us, that's been presiding in us. Look, you guys, even if you don't believe in what I'm saying, this shit been helping you ever since you was born. This ain't about if you believe in me or not. This ain't about if you black or white, or if you English or you American. This magic that I'm talking about has been in you since you was born, and it's been helping you. But what I'm saying is when you get sick the way your body can't heal you no more, you don't know how to get the mind to help. And the mind can help. The mind can help you. Give an example of so we can get there faster. I'm ready. TND service. Example of what? Go back to your original question. What were you asking? Any other questions thus far? What's going on? We woke up. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Okay. Anybody got any questions thus far before we move on? What are the cell salts needed for a Gemini? Traveling Earth. Be quiet, man. What are the cell salts needed for a Gemini? Am I talking about cell salts, or am I even talking about a Gemini? No, I'm not. All right. Anybody else with some sense? Say something. You got a question? Go ahead. Oh, you pinned it? Yeah. All right, let's check it out. What question do we got pinned? How do you control that different place? How do you control that different place? What different place? I don't know. Y'all, when you were typing into me, be very specific. I'm not going to wonder what you're talking about. Okay? I don't want to wonder. I don't want to guess. I don't want to do shit. If you got typos, that's fine, but type it again. Be straight. And be straight, okay? Be straight with your questions. All right? Be straight with it. Because I don't understand what you're saying right there. It started off as a good question. I just need to know what was that backdrop. I normally lie to myself and then it come real. There you go, Triple J. There you go. That was an old question you were talking about, using your spirit to help your body. Yes, that's what we're always talking about. Okay, for me, that's what I'm always talking about. Using your spirit to help your body is what I'm always talking about. That's what I'm teaching. If I was still a pastor or a preacher or minister, this is what I would be teaching: how to use your spirit to maneuver through this paradigm. And using your spirit, in essence of what I'm saying, is using your intuition. Right? This is what I'm telling you to use. Okay, your intuition. But other people can say your instincts. Okay, your instincts. Again, how I explain this is and maybe you guys can explain it. If one of y'all can explain it better, I'm gonna let y'all come up on the chat. What happens when you see a woman naked, but she don't touch you at all, and you get an erection? What is that? Somebody explain that to me. What mechanisms go on even though that person ain't touched you? What mechanisms go on to make a woman wet down here by talking to her man, but he's still at work? He ain't did nothing till later on. So how you be wet from his words? What mechanism is happening to make that happen? If y'all can explain that, then you'll know what I'm trying to do. You'll know what I'm trying to use, okay? I'm trying to use that. But you have to fall back in love, and you have to be in a pleasure place, and you have to be in a peaceful state to get that feeling from God, from Earth's plan, from Earth's life pattern for your life. I'm going to say that. So I'm trying to get you to fall. I'm really trying to get you to mend your relationship with the thing that you've been ignoring. It's God. Earth life patterns for your life. What I'm really trying to do is remove the interference, the blockage, the obstruction from you seeing what you need to be seeing, which is God, Earth's life's pattern for your life. And what's happening is we're coming into the paradigm, and our mind is somewhere and our body is in another place. Okay. And it happens very subtly. You can have this happen multiple times throughout the day. where you'd be depressed, anxiety, you could be feeling a certain way, you could be driving and don't even be thinking about where you're going. You know you're going home, but you're not really focused on the road. And then by the time you do make it home, you're like, damn, I don't even remember that trip. It's because your mind was not with your body. But your brain was there, your body was there. You got muscle memory that made you all the way home. But you see how easily the mind can be somewhere. You could be sitting right there by your spouse, but your mind can be somewhere. Even though he watching football, you in the mall in your mind, sitting right beside him watching the game. So this happening very often. So we know that this happens. And what I'm saying is that when we get diagnosis, when we get environmental stimuli, is what I'm gonna call it. When we get this environmental stimuli, whether it be a diagnosis, whether it be a financial situation, whether it be a relationship situation, whether it be human hurt, when you get this trauma, then now this is when this mind thing starts to happen. Or when you get into puberty and you start getting hit with the world's pressure and time's pressure get on you, and then now your mind start doing it. So you got these two ways of human hurt, and then time, peer pressure of the time stress, right? That says, oh, I need a boyfriend right now. Oh, I just got some breast. I need a bra. I just got my period. I need a man. I just got how dying now. I need a girlfriend. So you up on the time now. See, so time will either do it for you, but it's ultimately your world. Your world is causing this interference between God's plan, or what we call Earth's patterns for your life. Yeah, the inner warfare of ego and morality. Yes, there you go. Despite the fact that it's the unconscious that narrates our emotion when we are physically, I don't know what you're saying. Mindfulness seems to be a good resource to assist with this journey. Do you see mindfulness as something to look into? Yes, but instead of just being a mind full of stuff, okay, instead of it just being a mind full of, I don't see your request, but instead of it just being a mind full of stuff, then what we have to do is make it to where you can lessen those things. Now, I'm not telling y'all to stop thinking, because that ain't what I'm trying to get you to understand. What I'm saying is that there has to be some point in time in your day or your week or your month. I mean, and what I'm finna get you is a little small moments in your day. All right, let's mute you. Some small moments in your day, right? To where this is what's gonna happen. To where you don't have to think about anything. Let's say, do anybody have at least 5 minutes? Okay, and I'm asking all of you, all 200 of you watching. Just think about your day. No matter how your day, if Rico listening right now, I know you just wake up and smoke and go sell you some, do your thing. But just listen to me, Rico. And I know Mama Dale, 90 years old. She might not got too much to do, but listen to me, Mama Dale. I'm asking you a question now. You ain't got 5 minutes out your day where I don't want you to do nothing for 5 minutes. Don't think about what to cook, clean, eat, fart, poop, piss, cut hair, grow hair, makeup, lotion. You can get yourself together and still have 5 minutes to not do nothing. Or you can have 5 minutes before you get yourself together to not do nothing. I need for you to pull out 5 minutes out your day where there ain't nothing that you thinking that you need to do. Does anybody got that 5 minutes? Anybody? Put some ones in the chat if you got it. YouTube, talk to me. I was responding to your question. Thoughts? Yes. Okay. Anybody? Does anybody know that you got that 5 minutes? I'm not going to worry about the kids, the husband, the mailman, the brushing my teeth, washing I ain't got a boo-boo right now. I ain't got to pee. I ain't got to worry about nothing. I don't care nothing about the bill, man. I don't care nothing about my mama don't want me. I don't care nothing about my cousin graduation. I don't care nothing about my kinfolk them birthday party. For 5 minutes, I ain't going to worry about nothing or nobody. See, that's Earth life's pattern for your life. But your world keep you too busy. And it's for a reason, because under this time constraint and under your world being so busy, being under Satan's yoke, being under Saturn's yoke. Busy is being under Saturn's yoke. You ain't got to worry about Satan. Let's just say Saturn. Saturn means Chronos. Chronos means time. So you're so busy being under Saturn's yoke, being under time's constraint. And time been defeated. In your Bible, time was defeated in the stars. So then why are we up on the time? And did you not know, very quickly, very easily, I'm going to put my old man posture on. Did you not know that time is the direct enemy or direct nemesis to everlasting? Everlasting don't require time. So anybody that's teaching in time, teaching us through time, is an indicator that you don't come from this angle. See, a lot of y'all are being demis, but you ain't being a God. A lot of you being dummies, but you're not being God. See, demigod, a dummy God. That's what they call a fake God, right? A demigod and a dummy God is a fake God. See, so some of us are used to just being demis, demonstrations, being close to it, but no cigar. We want to teach you how to cross over. Teach you how to transition without dying. We want to teach you how to cross over. We want to teach you how to transition without dying. And this is why the owner's manual is so important. If you guys are interested in the owner's manual, please DM us and we'll get you the information that you need. Anybody else? Any other questions? I need to learn how to clear my mind. All you got to do is just use that 5 minutes. Use that 5 minutes, okay? And then also start using breathing techniques. Breathing techniques. Remember that I told you, don't try to look at nothing. Don't try to hear nothing. Just plug your ears, close your eyes, listen to your breath. And that's when you're starting to clear your mind. You ain't trying to clear it. You're just trying to get it to focus on you and not nothing else, okay? What that is, TND service, okay? You're not trying to clear your mind. You're trying to focus your mind on you. Okay? This is what mindfulness is having a mind full of you in it and not nothing else. A mind full of you. Okay? You need to be able to be the mediator to the things that you're going through. You have to mediate yourself. Stop trying to accept ass whoopings from other people and start to mediate yourself. Stop taking medications from other people as mediation and start to mediate yourself. Stop taking therapy from other folks that's going through problems too and start to mediate yourself. And the only way you can mediate yourself, the only way you can start to take care of your health and your wealth and everything that's coming to you in this abundance, in this paradigm, is for you to know thyself better. And hopefully we're teaching you that here on the HerbMan Show. Okay? You got to start being your own mediator, you guys. Stop depending on medication. Stop depending on meditation. Stop depending on yoga. Stop depending on gurus. Stop depending on folks that you think teachers and this, that, and the third. No. You need to know you, and that's where the owner's manual will come in at. All right, Dollar? There you go, Dollar B. Yes, yes, yes. Anybody? Okay, they say we cooking with Dominic. That's your phone. You the only one talking about frozen every time. That must be your phone. Yeah, you the only one talking about that's your phone. Okay? Taz, if you need the manual, just DM me and we will get you the information that you need. E. Taylor says she purchased hers yesterday. Okay, cool, cool, cool. They have problems themselves. Yes, everybody got them, though. That's why you don't need to go to nobody but nature. And that's why I keep trying to tell y'all, why are we going to people for God? Y'all got to stop this stuff, man. We got to start thinking about what we're thinking about, okay? Your world is always man go to man. Earth's life pattern for you is man go to land. Whew. Got to be more careful. Boy, I got to write this stuff down. I'm glad that I'm on this social media, but because I've been talking nuggets ever since I've been born. But to know that it's getting recorded is gonna be everything to me, right? Because some of these things come out of holes I can't even tell you where they come from. But the bottom line is your world is making you to be so dependent on man to man business, right? So it's just like B2B, business to business, but yours is P2P, personal to person. So your world is creating this person-to-person contact. Everything that you got to learn, you always got to go to another motherfucker to do it. That's your world. But Earth's life pattern for you is set up as like this, man to land. Okay? So in your world, you keep going to another person like you. But in the God's plan for your life, in Earth's life pattern for your life, when you're getting into those hard times, those unknown times, we had a unique ability, because if I'm lost, you lost. And that's what I'm trying to get y'all to see. Look at mankind. Don't be just looking at your little doctor. You got to look at mankind. Your doctor is making money for their family. They don't give a damn about you. They care about their family. And they will do anything for their family, even if it means prescribing you drugs that they know that don't work for you. And you could be in the he and kiki and ha and poo-pooing all you want. It's the children at home. It's the things at home that is the driving force for your doctor, not you. It should be you, but it's not you. And that's okay. That's humanism. That's what you got to look at. The president, and you got to look at, if the president is shitty, then you know the CEO of McDonald's is. If the president of the country is acting crazy, then you know the goddamn manager or goddamn a UPS gonna do it. If the president and of these countries is acting a fool, then you know down your little co-worker and your little shift supervisor knock your head off. Come on, look at the energy of humanity. We ain't never scared to say nothing, do nothing to your motherfucking ass. And that's the energy of the people. So therefore, don't come to me. I got the propensity to fuck you up for my own reasons, even if it's unconscious biasness. I don't even know. And so you done been distraught with this relationship so long. And now in your last hour, you want to try to find HerbMan. Oh, I heard he was healing folks and he was bringing folks and resurrecting folks, this, and that, third. But I can't do it if you ain't got nothing to do it with. It's you that heal yourself. I just know the programming that can get you there. But I can't do it. You got to be able to do the program. And some of y'all are coming to ask too late. So then at the end of the day, it's because you've been going to man with all your problems. You've been going to man for your God. You've been going to man for your medication. You've been going to man for your money. You've been going to man for your children. You've been going to man for your distance, man for your debt. You've been going to man so long, you don't know nothing about going to God. You don't know nothing about going to the land. And that's why when I come up on here, and since I ain't got no herb for you, I'll come and get my herbal blend, and let me show you my detox, and let me show you my Nutrimals, and let me show you my new kidney cleanse, and let me show you my new liver cleanse. I ain't coming on here like that. I'm coming on here telling you that your ass got to do it. And you don't like it. But it's the truth. And for that funky measly $50, we'll show you how. But you ain't got to ever need me no more. Once you get your owner's manual in your possession, you have the keys to your wheel to drive your truck. And it will teach you where you are, where you're lost at, how we found you, what you need to do for spiritual, physical tendencies. It'll show you your foods, your herbs that you need to take. All of these things are in your owner's manual. But all we can do is just keep teaching you. So regardless if you get one or not, you still know that you're missing something that's very necessary right now. If you're sitting on your couch sick, there's something missing that you don't know. If you are sitting on your couch broke or up under a bridge broke, and you got an opportunity to hear me right now, there's something in you that you don't know. And I know that it's your ego. I know that sometimes we don't like to say what we don't know. But guess what? You don't have to tell me what you don't know. I see everything that you do know based on your life. That's why we know what your life is based on your disease. That's why we know what your life is based on your birthday. You don't have to say a whole lot. We know your train of thought based on your life. Some of you guys will blame your governments, you'll blame your countries, you'll blame your sisters, you'll blame your cousins. But what about you? If somebody else wants to watch you, they can see where you at. But you can't see it sometimes. And it's these tendencies that you can't see for yourself that need to be highlighted so that you can be able to circumvent things within you better. You didn't know that you had an addictive tendency. You didn't know that you had this tendency until you start living, and boom, without the knowledge, you couldn't circumvent the ditch, the hole, the traffic that this particular thing would bring into your life, and you ran right into it. But I could have told you from your owner's manual, from your birthday, aha, you had that tendency. Some of you guys have got a tendency to be anxious. You got a tendency to be depressed. You got a tendency to be grieving. You got a tendency to be guilty or unforgiving. You got a tendency to be doubtful. You got a tendency to be delusional. Some of y'all got a tendency to have attachment issues. You got a tendency to be this and to be that. And you don't know that about yourself until the trauma comes. But what I'm saying for you is that now we have an ability to know it before the trauma. Get this for y'all children. Y'all babies need this so you can parent them better. That's what was really needed. Because some of y'all are already 30, 40, 50, you already done live. Your ass may not ever get to everlasting. So train up the child in the way that they should go, that when they get old, they won't depart from it. Get this for your baby and learn how to parent them better under the Earth's life pattern for their life and not your world. Stop trying to make them be a cook because you was a chef. Stop trying to make them you did something at 15. Stop trying to make them be a basketball player because you missed out on your opportunity. Stop trying to make them be an engineer because your ass is broke. Stop trying to make them be a computer programmer because you didn't do computers in school. Leave them alone and let Earth tell you who they are. Don't try to create no world for your children. It's already created for them. Earth is their world, not your world. Don't put your children in your world. They're already coming in the earth. See, but you don't want to let, but look, the bear come in on Earth's life pattern. He ain't on your world. The cat come in, the insect, the ant come in on Earth's life pattern. The squirrel, the raccoon, the anything, all these little things, the spider, everything comes in on Earth's life pattern, but you're the one that has the ability to create your world. The other things don't. And what I'm saying is leave some of this stuff alone. Because some of this stuff, like I said, some of these fruits and vegetables are growing for years. And then as soon as you come to it, you call it a raw fruit and a raw vegetable. That shit been cooking up under the sunlight. These coconuts been up here for 3, 4, 5 years, but cooking. But your crazy butt gonna get up there too because you're a man and you call it raw. But it's a sun-cooked vegetable. It's a sun-cooked fruit. It ain't raw. These are sun-cooked foods. These are not raw foods. But when you start to change your mentality, you realize that I'm creating a world out of my words and out of my understanding, and I'm not looking deeper into Earth's life's pattern for my paradigm. Remember that Earth is abundant, but your money gonna run out. Earth is abundant, but your time is gonna run out. Earth is abundant, but your food is gonna run out. Earth is because when your money run out, your food run out. Because you're up here on time and money. While God is down here trying to say, why would you even need it? Why would y'all even feed anything into clocking in and giving your life over to any kind of time subjugated anything when I'm teaching you everlasting life? Bible thumpers, answer that question. Bible thumpers, bishops, anybody that think they high enough to be able to come in here and battle me, challenge me, debate me on any level, this is what I want to free my people from right here. That if you knew, you wouldn't do it the way you're doing it. If you knew. And so that's why I don't mess with y'all. If you still going to church right now, for real, man, God bless you. Okay? God bless you if you're still going to church right now, man. We got to wake up, you guys, okay? We only know things impartial. We only know things fragmented. We only know things unlimited, right? And so we got to understand that and be okay with what I don't know. Some of y'all just don't know what you just not okay with saying I don't know. But my point to you is that very thing here is that I know the body. I know herbs. I could have been on here just like all the other herbalists that y'all see, sharing my knowledge and sharing my products and doing all the hell. I started like that. But when I got into this, I knew that I had this. I had to give it up. This is better than me because this is nature. I wouldn't have never, ever, there's nothing, no other man could have came up on social media, wrote a book that I would have ever gave or superseded to. You understand what I'm trying to get you to understand? Motherfucker, I think I'm better than Dr. Sabi. So there ain't no other man that I would have gave no, you know what I'm saying? Boo to. But I know what I'm working with. And I know that this is far superior than I can ever be. So what I do is I concede to it. And I allow it to teach me about my life, about my family, about the world in general. And then I get up here every day and show y'all this magic. I get up here every day without a book, without a script, without a nothing. And I just so excited. And I show y'all how to work this thing, how to let your spirit flow when you don't know. And that's intuition. And you can't fix everything in this life with intellect. Everything can't be fixed with facts. So the fact of the matter is, yes, you are broke right now. Yes, you are alone right now. Yes, you are sick right now. But also the fact of the matter is, you can't fix it and nobody else around you can. But there is something in you that can. But you got to be okay with going into the unknown and having faith. Oh, this boy on here talking about this stuff, and I know you know. Yeah, I know you don't know. But come in with intuition. You don't got to have faith in this. I want you to have faith in you. That's what I want. Everything is about you. Ain't nothing about what I'm talking about external. When you get your owner's manual, you can't fix your daughters with your owner's manual. You can't fix your husband with your owner's manual. You can't fix your dog with your owner's manual. That's your owner's manual for you. They got to get their own because they come in with a different timestamp, which is going to have different information attached to it and different tendencies. So you'll see that this is all about the individual, all about the person. And that's what we want to keep it at. When you know all veils are removed. But how do you remove the veils, Shaquana? That's the big question. When you know all veils are removed. Good analogy. Okay? But how do you know when you know? I think that's the question for a lot of people is, how do you know when you know? Right? And it's this thing that you just kind of fall into. It's kind of interwoven, right? And because I can't say that I knew before I knew, but you just know that you're what I guess how I do it and how I like to explain it is that I'm always keeping myself in the middle, right? I'm always keeping myself in the middle, which means that I may do some lower self shit, but I'm also going to come back and do some higher self shit. So I keep me balanced in that way. Yeah, I may come and have a lower self, a brain fart, a lower self desire, need, or want, but then I'll come back and boom. So I'm always keeping myself in the neutral. So I'm gonna do some good positive energy stuff, some negative energy. Now, this positive energy and negative energy don't mean good and bad. It don't mean right and wrong. It just means necessary energies for different situations. Right? So I'm using these energies, but I'm keeping myself balanced in it. So the good is gonna keep me balanced from the bad, and the bad is gonna keep me balanced from the good, because again, you get too extreme. And when you get too extreme, you can be so heavenly minded that you're no earthly good. Then if you're no earthly good, then you won't make it either. So you're so high-minded and you're no earthly good, you won't make it here either when you're in the earth realm. Right? So that's why I keep trying to teach y'all how the body preserve. The Egyptians was on to it, but they had a lot of it wrong. They had limited information on the brain. They took the brain out of the body for mummification. Okay, but early on, the brain was the prize of all of the surgeries and everything like that. But later on, during mummification, because of the limited of knowledge, they felt like the brain was just a useless organ. Let's go in and get that out, and then that way you can come back. But when you come back to your body, hell, what brain you got to think with? So it was limited in their knowledge. But you start to see mummification, body preservation. Where did they understand to get that from? So they were trying to get themselves physically, physically fit for their spirit. But what I'm trying to say is the same thing, but let's do it in life. Don't try to preserve me when I'm dead, motherfucker. Preserve me while I'm living. Here you talking about. When I die, I don't give a damn, and it don't matter. Anyway, Preserve me while I'm living. Mummify me while I'm living. Show me these mechanisms of how to extend life, how to get into this eternity, how to get into this everlasting flow, if it's possible, while I yet live. I don't want that to be no death dream. All my dreams, I want them to be while I'm yet living. I ain't got a death dream. I ain't got no dream about how great death gonna be. We're using all of this living knowledge into trying to make life be the dream. Okay? Wake up, my people. All right? Wake up, my people. Your medication should not be a mediator. You should be the mediator, which is you should be mediated by meditation. Simple meditations is accompanying them with breathing. All I want you to do is take 5 minutes out your day, any time of the day. It don't matter when you can do this. Take 5 minutes out your day and don't think about anything for 5 minutes. Not what you got to do, not what you've done, not nobody, not nothing. 5 minutes to where I'm, and it ain't even about going to sleep. But if you got to go to sleep to do this, that's fine. But I want you to take 5 minutes to where I don't have a care about anything. And when you do that, I want you to understand that that's Earth's life pattern for your life. That's God's plan for your life, is that peace. I just want you to get 5 minutes of it, a minute of it, 2 minutes of it for you to see what I'm trying to get you to see. I just want you to taste it. And then you'll see that it's good. All right? Any questions? If you guys got any mental illness issues, you can come up on the live. If you got mental illnesses, please come up on the live. We'll chit chat with you. If you got mental illness problems, put me in the chat and we can chit chat with you. If you are dealing with mental illness issues, put me in the chat and we'll chit chat with you. Okay, we'll bring you up. If you're dealing with mental illness, put me in the chat. We'll bring you up. It looks like we got Cooking with Dominique. Bring up Core Extended. Let's get you up. Okay, I want to deal with this mental illness because mental illness is not something that you could be diagnosed with from the doctor. Mental illness is with everybody. Mental illness please mute. All right, Core Extension. Welcome to the HerbMan Show. How can I help?
How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, Chief? How can I help you?
I just had.
Sound like you went out. Core Extension. Core Extension, are you there? Come back when your line is good, Core Extension. Come back when your line is good. We'll bring you back up. Cooking with Dominique, what's up? Dominica. Cooking with Dominica, are you there?
Hello?
Yes, welcome to the HerbMan Show. How can I help you? Yes, ma'am, we can hear you. Make sure you're turning down the volume though from our show. Because I can hear it in the background echoing.
Okay. Is that better?
Yes, ma'am. How can I help?
All right, so I've been diagnosed way back in 99. I've been on disability for a minute, and they told me that I had a mental disability. And I think because I have a tendency to overthink. I have a tendency to see things and live up, do. I guess my mind I got too much things on my mind. I can't control it.
Yeah.
I can't control it.
Now,
and now they try to say that my thyroid has caused me to have a mental illness, and I got to be on the medicine for the rest of my life.
You see what I'm trying to say? When you keep going to man for answers, you haven't been able to get them. And so again, we'll go to man, and we'll go to medications, we'll go to machine. These things will all give you their intellect. But some stuff that you're dealing with, intellect can't help. It's got to be something else, okay? And so therefore, what I'm trying to get you to understand is that everything ain't going to be fixed just from what you know. Some stuff you got to know how to fix, even if you don't know about it. There's something in you that can know, and that's the mind, that's the spirit, that's the intuitive side, that's the discernment that we're trying to get you to understand. Now, what was your first diagnosis ever in your life, Dominique?
They gave me
Your first
schizophrenic.
Your first diagnosis ever in your life was schizophrenia, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and you've never been. That's still the problem. Okay.
I'm gonna say no because but I do have.
Now listen to me.
I do have some type of different personality.
Listen to me. When I say that that's the problem, trust me, I'm not going off diagnosis. What I'm saying is that this mental thing has always been the problem. Okay. Now, right before you got diagnosed, long time ago, whatever age that was. Matter of fact, do you know the age?
They they classified me when I was like 24.
24. You probably had been having vivid dreams, and you probably had been having these types of dreams and these types of things going on in your mind probably when you started your cycle around 12 or 13. It just took to 24. Now, when you was a little girl, 12, 13, during your cycle years, when you was that age, do you remember that you was dreaming vividly? Do you remember any kind of psychic abilities that you were having when you was a little girl?
Not when I was real little, but I do remember being able to see things before they happened, and was so yes.
Yeah, there was psychic ability. Now, what age were you going through those episodes?
Anywhere between 17, okay. 16, 17, and all the way up to about 54, 52 years old, maybe 50 years old.
So you had still been going through that. So that's my point. That is what you got. But that is an ability. That is not something that you should be taking medications for. But because people don't understand, look, for women, you guys are very spiritual. You're very heightened and very sensitive spiritually. That means that these dreams can come. Hell, how you think grandmama knew you was pregnant? It was through a dream. So the bottom line is you guys are very sensitive spiritually, and you guys have this prowess and you have this power. And even though men got spirit too, but we're talking about who's the best at it, not who got it and who don't got it. Both of us have our spiritual things, and both of us have our spiritual qualities. But a woman is very sensitive, way more sensitive in the spirit than a man does. And my point to you is that you had been like that, but nobody understood. And right around 22, 23 years old, something happened to you before you got diagnosed at 24. Right around 22, 23 years old, a year or two before that diagnosis, something happened to you.
Yes.
Okay. And you haven't been able to get over that. All I'm trying to do is take you back to the time. See what I'm saying? Because when I take you back, this is how we're going to release it, but we got to know what it is we're releasing. The moment, whatever happened to you, you suppress that trauma in you that caused you to manifest this thing that you call schizo or call bipolar or call mental health illnesses, but it didn't. It was, you were already a very spiritually sensitive woman, a girl at that time. But when this life trauma hit you, then obviously that thwarted you off a little bit. Again, like you said, it separated you. It caused the interference between your natural abilities, which is what you had, and then what somebody did to you. You see? So it's like if I got these natural abilities, if I got these God-given talents, if I got these God-given qualities, why couldn't I stop that from happening? Why couldn't I keep this from happening? Why couldn't I? And sometimes you walk away either with guilt of it happening to you or unforgiveness for something that allowed it to happen to you. And that relationship and that trust ain't done no more. And when you got doubt and trust issues, if you've been watching the show long enough, then you know that that's a spiritual tendency that deals with your what? Thyroid. Yeah. I just needed to take you back. I want to walk us back because it is these first things that we're dealing with that are not being solved that are causing these later things. Okay. Yeah, that's what it is. But we have the herbs for you. We got the whatever you need. We got it. Just let me know what you need as far as your owner's manual, and we'll get you that information.
Well, I sent a message, so I'm waiting for a response so I can go ahead and try to get it because
Okay.
I'm ready.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Just let me know, and we'll reach out to you. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Bye bye.
Hey, HerbMan.
Yes, Taz. How can I help you? Welcome to the HerbMan Show.
Yeah, I literally woke up and popped this on. I didn't. You just spoke into my existence for real. I just want to thank you so much.
Well, I appreciate you. I mean, I appreciate you. You
I
know,
just
it couldn't be anything
I
without
just got
you.
out of prison.
Oh, you did?
I just did 4 years in prison, and that's where the soul searching was for me, for real.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you. You know, you coming to this realization in your life, right? Was it just recent, or have you been awake to this for a long time?
Well, I'm a little like you, right? I'm been around the block and right? You know what I'm saying? So I've been incarcerated, I've been in prison, I've been an inmate, I've been a convict. I served in your military. I was your platoon leader in the military. I also was your platoon leader in the penitentiary. All right. And so I've been to church, I've been preaching church, I've been in college. I done a lot of different things. And what I'm trying to get you to see while I'm telling you this story is that I'm a living witness that transition, that transformation, that transmutation, that transfiguration can happen. And I think that that's what I'm really trying to convey when I come on here every day, is allowing you guys to understand that your beginnings you can't change, but you can change your end. Your beginnings and your situations that you come up in with your families and your friends and your communities and your circumstances, you can't change those things, but you can change your end, Taz. Okay. And so your 4 years and you looking at me and you say, well, damn, bro say he been down the road. I had a 5 year. Okay. And I've been locked up 15 times. I was in the military locked up 6 times. They gave me 3 days bread and water. I know they ain't do that for you. So my point to you is that it's some of us that have been through way more, way less, but at the end of the day, we can still bounce back from anything. So what you're seeing right here is the dude that used to be the herb man in your community. You know what I'm talking about, Tad. But then he changed, still kept the essence of who he is, but then started to build the community instead of kill the community. Start to construct the community instead of destruct the community with the same brand. Did you get it?
Yeah, I get it.
the same thing, right? And so you don't. It's not going to be too far away from who you really are. And what I'm saying is the more convinced and the more comfortable you get with you, that's when you can create the life. We're trying to be all this other stuff. Be Taz.
Yeah.
And I bet you when you be Taz, that goddamn door gonna open for your ass regardless of your record. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think the hardest part for me right now, like, I have a few barriers in my life. You know, I died 3 times. I've been to prison. I got ran over by a car. I survived that. I survived being a 2-ounce baby with drugs. You know, I was born into addiction. I got 4 years clean. I'm trying to get my life back on track. And what's really a barrier for me is heartache. Heartache prevents me from getting into my own mind, you know.
Yeah.
I lost a lot of people,
right,
due to addiction, and you know, heartache for me is one of my biggest barriers. You know.
Yeah. So
relationships with others is one of my biggest barriers because, like, I chair meetings, you know, and I speak the truth of recovery, and I try to do my best to help others without having that pat on my back. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And my question to you is, because I am woke. You know what I'm saying? I do know how corrupt this system is, and I do try to go natural ways to heal my body, but that between the heart and the mind, they fight each other all the time, and I'm trying to do the best I can to have peace with myself, and I think that's the hardest barrier that I'm struggling with right now.
Yeah, I mean, but you are amongst the all other 8 billion of us. You're just strong enough. You're strong enough and courageous enough to be able to articulate it in the way that you're doing it. But it's the same problem for all 8 billion of us. Is when we go through these human hurts, or when we're going through this time pressed life, right? How do you not allow those things to affect you in a way to keep you moving and to keep you positive about all of the opportunities of life? And that's why it's so important to get the owner's manual, because we're trying to show you these life lessons. I can teach you this, but you won't remember it unless you just come in every day. But that's why we illustrate to you where your mind and where your body's at, but then we show you what that life lesson is all about. Right now, where you at, Taz, there is life is trying to teach you a lesson, but your mind can be somewhere else. You may be thinking about your finances while your body is like, yo, you need to be worried about your health. You may be thinking about your pockets where your body may be like, yo, you know what? We in relationship time. You may be thinking about your money while your body may be in a time where it's like, yo, what? This is spiritual time for us. You may be thinking about money when your body is at a time to where you're learning something else. But because of the separation of the mind and body, what you call the heart and mind, but the mind and body, that separation is why we feel lost and why we're not able to achieve what we need to achieve, or what I would say, grab hold on to the opportunity, right? And so what we're trying to teach you here is how to create divine timing, meaning that I'm going to hit it at the right time, I was at the right place, just like how you woke up this morning, you just heard me, at the right time, at the right place. But what I'm trying to do is, instead of you keep doing that by mistake, Taz, we're going to try to teach you how to do that by intention.
Yeah, because I'm tired of hitting that wall, man.
It's all good. Give me your birthday real quick. What's your birthday?
December 4th, 1986.
All right, 12/4/86. Okay, so we do this like a life path number. So your manufacturing date is 12/4/86. Your model is going to be 12 plus 4 is 16. 1 plus 6 is 7. So based on your month and your date, we got the number 7. So remember that number. All right, 1986 is eventually going to end up being 18 plus 6 is going to be 24. Okay, and so that's going to be 6. 6 plus 7 is going to give us 13. 1 plus 3 is going to give us 4. Okay, so now from 11/21 to 12/21, we know that to be a Sag. Okay, so that's your fire. That's your fire element.
I'm definitely a fire sign.
Yeah, I can tell.
Hence the name Taz.
I can tell. So you got that fire in you. Now the opposite of every Sagittarius is a Gemini. So that's your air quality. And then because you are 4, your air quality, your biggest spiritual tendency here because of a 4 is going to be exactly what you said, which is grief and depression. I can't make it up.
Yeah, that's real.
Okay, and if you don't fix how you're able to handle grief and depression, then you're going to walk into immune system issues, autoimmune system issues, and respiratory issues. So you got to be careful with this dynamic. Now let's see where you at right here. Let us map you. Let's walk you through. Again, air, fire, immune system, autoimmune, respiratory, but the fire part of it can be digestive and nervous system issues. So you want to be careful with that. Now, 12/4/86, we know that that's a Sagittarius. We said that. Okay, so you right there. Where you start at is where you end. Okay, your beginning is your ending. So basically, you got to end back up here to be 120 years old, Taz. Now let's look at where you. So I would say your mind is here. Your mind is constantly moving. Your mind is constantly about moving around. You probably have changed locations a few times in your life. You down with learning new experiences, learning new things. You're very open-minded when it comes to those things. That's the Sagittarius in you, and that's normally how your mind clicks, right? But let me tell you where you are. 11, what's Sagittarius really quick? Real Sagittarius date is November 22nd to December 21st. So let's say you did 17 days here, right? So you did 17 days. That's going to be 3 years. Okay. And then you add 2 years here, that's 5 years. Okay, and that's 16 days. So 5 years and 4 months is what you did out of Sagittarius. 5 years, 4 months. Okay, each one of these life lessons is gonna run you 10 years. Okay, so 5 years and 4 months, 15 years and 4 months, 25 years and 4 months, 35 years and 4 months. How old are you?
38.
Okay, so 35 years and 4 months, and then you got 45 years and 4 months. So you're in Aries. Okay, so your mind is here. Now, your body is here. Your mind is in Sagittarius. Your body is in Aries. In your mind, you're in the spiritual time of life in your mind, but your body is in the physical time of life. So you can be doing a lot of spiritual stuff, but that ain't where your body is at. Your mind is about learning new experiences and moving around, traveling and doing all that type of stuff, whatever you're trying to do there. But your actual physical body is saying, yo, this is trying to teach you about self-identity, self-expression, self-improvement. Okay, that's where your body is at. Your body is saying, look, focus on you, focus on yourself, focus on doing this and doing that in the third, and making sure that you can, and you're growing and developing that sense of self right now, which is why you're gravitating to things that allow you to get this enlightenment. So now when we match them up together, then there's no dissension, there's no interference, there's no blockage, there's no disagreement anymore. Because now you can say, okay, mind, take me to handle Aries. And what Aries wants you to know with the body is that it's okay to have a little drama right now. It's okay for a little chaos right now. You didn't know that, did you?
Okay. No. But it makes sense because it's really where I'm at right now.
It's where you at right now. I already know. So that's what you got to look at. And then again, when you get the owner's manual, now you can start walking yourself through these life lessons without me. And you'll begin to pick up what Earth's pattern for your life is putting down. And you'll be like, I know what this lesson is about right now. I know what everything coming to me is getting me to learn. And right now, what you're going through is getting you to learn that chaos is a necessary thing sometimes.
With pain comes growth.
There you go. There you go. Chaos is a necessary thing. So don't be scared of it. Don't be running from it, right? You know, because you that Sagittarius, so you know you like to get up and go. But sometimes you gotta deal with the situation, okay? And understanding what is the underbelly lesson that all this stuff is trying to get me to understand. That I have to learn how to deal with chaos in life. I got to learn how to do that. And then your next one is going to be your personal possessions. So you're going to start seeing your life. Once you get your self-identity intact, now you're ready for your personal possessions. So this is going to come when you're 45. When you get 45, everything that you're looking for is materialism will start coming. But right now, the lesson is get you together. Then we can get you the things that you want. Make sense?
Right. Thank you so much.
Yes, man. We appreciate you, man. Anytime you need me, holler back.
All right, thank you.
Okay. All right. Peace.
Bye.
All right. So you see how this goes. And again, life is this thing. Life is this thing. But what we're trying to teach you is that you're in your world. We want you to be able to combine the understanding of God's plan for your life or Earth's life's pattern for your life. And you get that with the owner's manual. This ain't going to make you drop your Bible. It should make you combine what you know with the Bible, with nature about yourself. This ain't gonna make you throw away your Torah or your Kabbalah. It ain't gonna make you throw away your Quran. But you should use that and this to be able to rightly understand where you are and what things happening in your life. All of us, none of us is set up to fail. But because we came in under man-to-man situation, then obviously it's going to influence us a lot more. If you're having a bad pregnancy, having a bad relationship during the pregnancy, you can harm the baby come out with a defect. It is what it is, right? So you got to look at those things like that. So, but because of this influence that we have on the world, we want to keep that godliness, we want to keep that Godhead, we want to keep that power, but sometimes your power run out. And now you don't know how to get and enter into the other power that you need. Anybody else got any other questions? Okay, so this is the fallibility of everlasting life. I believe that you can do it, but you got to understand how the body preserve. Okay, you come into this paradigm with a lot of stuff. Now, Taz, I don't know how old Taz is. Well, she told us she was 38 or 39, but the bottom line is, if she had known this earlier, if you would have got your owner's manual earlier, and your mama would have raised you, your daddy would have raised you naturally based and all this stuff, you could have circumvented a lot of that, including me. I lost a lot of time, but at the end of the day, a lot of that stuff is the ingredients in the dirt. You know, all plants require dirt. So that little dirt that you got in your life ain't nothing but a growing medium. Let me repeat that one more time for somebody in the back that act like they can't hear. That little dirt that you got going on in your life ain't nothing but a growing medium if you use it as such. Because if you can use it as a growing medium, then you'll rise to the top. But if you see it in a different way, then it'll be the dirt on your casket. Anybody else got anything else? We got about 30 more minutes, you guys. I thank you for all 100,000 likes. I appreciate all the love. If you are interested in your owner's manual, please DM us and we'll get you the information that you need. If you are dealing with mental illness and you want to come up on the live, put me in the chat and we'll bring you up. If you're dealing with mental illness and you want to come up on the chat, put me in the chat and we'll bring you up. Martin said, yes, sir. I see now at 65. There you go. You know, it ain't never too late to learn. You know, a lot of us come into the paradigm as infants and leave out of the paradigm as infants because what? Because we're just out there. Ruby Sparkling, want to come up? We'll bring you on up, Ruby Sparkling. Lady Tam said, I need a man. What's going on, baby girl? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So you'll see all of these different dynamics that help us learn along the way. So it ain't no reason for us to come in as infants and leave out as infants. We got to be able to utilize it. We're supposed to be like that little movie where they call the little sorcerer dude, Harry Potter. You got to be able to come up in this thing as an infant and leave out as an elder statesman. And the power to be able to navigate this paradigm, the power to be able to navigate this terrain. But we don't know what this terrain requires because we don't have enough of information to know thyself to understand that. Go ahead. What say you, Ruby? Ruby.
Hello.
Yes, welcome to the HerbMan Show. How can I help you?
Thank you. I was wondering if you can. I'm suffering with depression.
You're suffering with depression? How long?
It's been on and off for like 10 years.
10 years. Now, how old were you when you got diagnosed with that?
30, like 38, 39.
38, 39. What's your first diagnosis you ever had in life? What was your first diagnosis you ever had in life, Ruby? Huh?
It was after I lost my father.
You say you had lost your father. Can y'all hear her very good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you can't hear me?
Yeah. So what's your birthday, Ruby? Let's do this. What's your birthday?
July 17, 1975.
7/17/75. All right. So 7 and 17 is going to be 24. 2 and 4 is going to be 6. So 6 is going to be the number we get from the month and the date. So let's remember the number 6. 1975 is eventually going to be 17 plus 5, which is going to be 22. Right. So 17 plus 5 is going to be 22. That's a 4. 4 and 6 is 10. So that means that you're going to be a 1. Right. Model number 1, female. All right. 621 to 721 is going to make you be a Cancer. So that is a water sign. Every Cancer is a Capricorn. So there go your Earth. And then the 1 also stands for the Earth element as well. Your biggest spiritual tendency is stress and anxiety and depression and all that stuff that you just talked about. You see how that go? Now, if you don't get a hold on that, you're going to have kidney issues. You can have low energy, adrenal issues. You can be dealing with arthritis and bone joints issues. You could be dealing with mucus and all that type of stuff from the water element that you have. All right. But your biggest one is these two earths. These two earths automatically have an indicator of watch your bones, watch your joints, watch your back, watch your thyroid, all the arthritis, all that type of stuff is what you want to watch. But what I'm more keen of is to figure out where you got on this map, and let's see what happened here these few years ago. All right. So 717, 621 to 721. So let's say you did. So it's July the 22nd. So you did 5 days. Okay. You did 5 days of cancer. All right. Remember that that's your starting point, and that's where we need to be at. Excuse me. 5 days of cancer. You did 1 year and 8 months, right? So 1 year and 8 months. You're currently 50 years old, right? So 1 year.
Yes.
1 year and 8 months. 11 years and 8 months. 21 years and 8 months. 31 years and 8 months. 41 years and 8 months. 51 years and 8 months is right here. And you are 50. Okay, so you're in the third decan of Sagittarius. Okay, the third decan of Sagittarius. So what that's saying is currently, if you're dealing with something currently, you want to watch your eyesight. Okay, the eyesight, particularly, I would say either farsighted or nearsighted, right? So you want to watch out for that. If you're not having those issues as far as your eyesight is concerned, then you want to watch out for things going on with maybe your speech or the way you're talking, your speech. So that's just a little something, right? But now I want to go back to this little time right here. You said that about 10 years ago, right? So you're 50. So right in here in Scorpio, which would have been your reproductive era, not just reproductive from you physically, but let's say reproductive for, let's say that you was building something or you're growing a business or you went into business with somebody mutual or something like that. That was the little Scorpio. Maybe you took out a loan or maybe you got an inheritance at this particular time. And you're saying that the depression happened then, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, my question to you was, what was your first diagnosis? Do you know?
It wasn't medically. No, I don't, to be honest.
Okay, yeah, no problem. No problem.
It was just.
Okay, yeah, no problem. No problem. I'm just asking that. Now I want you to see something. Let me put this in red. All right. This is who you are. This is where you at. Who you are, where you at. Who you are, where you at. Who you are is you're in the physical low tide. This is your mind. Where you at is where you currently at in the body. Your body is currently going through a spiritual thing, but you're trying to intellectualize it from the mind. Let me repeat this. Your body is currently going through a spiritual time, but your mind is trying to think its way through a time that you should be feeling your way through. Does that make sense, Ruby?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So right now, your mind is about home and family. And you're all about your home, your family, your mother, your children. Your mind is there, but your body is talking about, look, we need to try to figure out what we're going to be in life and what we need to be doing in life. And we're trying to figure out what our passions is in life. But you still coming in with the motherly thing and the family thing, and you got to match up where you at. So if my mind is in the spirit, then if my body is in the spirit, then I must get down here where my body is at. And you need to just be focused on traveling, relocating, or whatever that's going to be in Sagittarius that you're changing up and trying to do. And that's going to take you into your career. Whatever you end up ending off with here in the next year or two, that's going to set you up in your career. Wherever you are planning to be, if you're at where you need to be already, that's fine. And then that's going to set you up for this next 10 years of career and structuring and long-term planning and getting your life straight through your finances. So you got to let Sagittarius do his thing. But you can buffer the move here if your mind is here. Okay? You got any questions?
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. That's all you needed?
No, sir. You did it for me.
Okay. We appreciate you.
Yeah, I was taking notes. Thank you so much.
Okay, yes, ma'am. All right, peace, peace. Who we got here? Joy J? Joy J. Joy J, are you on with us?
I am, yes.
Welcome to the HerbMan Show. How can I help you?
I wanted to kind of ask about, I don't feel necessarily like depressed or anything at all.
Okay.
But about 2 years ago, I was diagnosed with multiple myeloma. Okay. And I've since been working on my mental to basically see myself through it. But I really feel like there's a spiritual reason why I'm going through this. I've been very successful in what I'm doing, but sometimes I find it hard to hold the vision of me healing myself, and then I have fear creep back in. So I'm trying to find a way to really work, harmonize my body.
When did you get diagnosed?
I'm sorry?
When did you get diagnosed with multiple myeloma?
That was in 2023.
In 2023?
Yes.
What was your first diagnosis?
Prior to that, I had never, ever had any type of illnesses. I really never had been sick. The only way the way I found out about that was that I had went to the hospital. I wasn't feeling well, and they told me I was having kidney issues. And from there, they looked at my blood, which, I had always been told with my sign and my life, to watch my blood. And then so coming up with having a blood disorder, I feel like, not to say something is destined or whatever, but it's I guess it was a high probability with my sign and who I am. So I'm just really trying to look for a way to continue to mentally grow through it.
Yeah, so right before 2023, let's say right around 2022, 2021, did anybody pass away, or did you break up, have a real bad breakup, or what was going on there? 2022, right around 2021, 2022.
So I have had a lot, when I was 18, I lost my mother.
Okay.
2021, my godmother, she's also my aunt, but she was my godmother, so she kind of took over after my mom passed, and she had got one of the vaccination shots, and then she ended up passing away of a heart condition kind of unexpectedly. So I did lose her, and I was having a very extremely stressful situation occurring that started in 2020. So there was quite a bit that was happening prior to that.
Yeah, but see, the thing about it is that you're not you're suppressing these losses, and that's what's causing you to have the thing. You're suppressing the losses, right? Now I know you said you had a series of things going on, so I understand. I mean, obviously you got to keep living, you got to get up and do your thing, but you suppressed it so much that is because you never stop thinking about these people. So even though you trying to move on, you still gonna have dreams. You're gonna think about them every now and then with different functions that go on in life. So you'll see that this suppression can cause for you to have, because multiple myeloma is got something to do with the immune system, right? Which is going to be what we call the air quality or the air element disease, and that means that's grief and depression or sadness and loss. So when you say, well, I want to know what the spiritual thing is behind it, is how you deal with grieving. And I think what you need to do is go back to those moments that you were in those situations and start to release the emotions that are relegated to those times, right? Get it out of you. If you need to shout about it, cry about it, yell about it, scream about it, go somewhere and do what you need to do and just get out of you this thing that you've been trying to suppress. Grieving and depression and all this sadness and loss, it happens. But if you keep it down deep in you, then it becomes an agitation, it becomes an irritation, it becomes an inflammation, it becomes a disease. Okay? So
I do receive that. And last year, for some reason, something hit me to work through the passing of my mom. And I wasn't sure why, but I fasted for 5 days. I cried for about 5 days. I just went through kind of like my life and what it meant and what it felt like to lose my mom. Mm-hmm. And I am not kidding you. At the end of that 5 days, I didn't really sleep. My dad passed away that next morning. I found him in my backyard, passed away.
You see what I'm trying to tell you? You done went through a lot, young lady. You done been through a lot. You done seen a lot of sadness and loss. That's what the problem is. And it don't matter how hard you try to, it don't matter how much you try to say that you've done it, you've seen too much of it. And it's a part of you. It's becoming a part of what you saw, your experiences, and it's very difficult. Because as you talking to me about it, I'm like, damn, how in the hell will anybody get over this stuff? So even though you say I'm over it, it's very difficult to do. So what I'm trying to get you to do is the right words that you got to use when you're doing your meditations and when you're doing your cleansing. You need to make sure that you're saying, I release all of the grief and depression within me. That word release is an energy, and then using the words grief and depression is an identity. So I'm using an energy to release, but I'm identifying the emotions that I'm trying to eradicate or get rid of. So I release all grief and depression from within me.
Okay, I received that.
And then we started using that. Now, as far as the multiple myeloma, girl, all you need is some soursop leaves and do what we just telling you to do, and all that'll be gone.
Oh, I'm not even worried. I'm not gonna say I'm not worried about it, but I am. I've been healing myself naturally. Like they can't even explain to me why my numbers are continually to get lower and lower and lower and lower. So I mean, on that end, I do feel like I'm kind of.
Are you good on top of that? Okay, good.
I'm definitely. Yeah, I'm working through it. I'm defying even their odds. They can't figure it out. But I don't take any chemo or anything like that. And I've that's why I focus a lot on the mental aspect of it and wanted to kind of ask this because I know that I can eat right. I can do all the soursop, the different holistic treatments. But until my body and mind is also healed, I don't feel like I will reach my goal, which is to be completely cured and healed. And
you
so
gotta
I feel
learn how
like
to rest your mind.
Whole thing.
You gotta learn how to rest. You gotta learn how to rest your mind.
Yeah.
You gotta learn how to rest your mind. And how I encourage people to do that is through nature-based interventions, right? So going outside, taking nature walks outdoors, going by green spaces, gardening, putting your feet in the sand, feet in the dirt, just getting one with nature, going out and getting more sunlight, more water, going to the springs, the wells, or whatever you need to do. Nature-based interventions along with, because a lot of us are trying to drink or smoke to do this, but if you go and you do it in nature, you'll see that those nature-based interventions will definitely help you calm your nervous system, help you sleep better, help you think better, help you focus, concentrate better, and ultimately they'll help you deal with life better. Because the thing is, Joy, is that you have to get the joy out of your life, even though it looks like life can be menial. Because in your experiences, I know it's tough to feel important or relevant. If the important irrelevant people in your life die, then you feel, sometimes we can feel unworthy. But what I'm trying to tell you is that that's not the way to think. You are worthy, and you are a part of the new generation of understanding that we're going to be able to elongate life. We're going to be able to eradicate these issues strictly with our minds and our bodies, but it will take a heavy influence of nature-based interventions. So go outside, do some of the stuff that you've been doing, but take it outside. Do the herbs outside. Eat your food outside. Get back a relationship with nature while you're doing your recovery, and I promise you, you'll recover faster. And it'll help you.
I just purchased 5 acres of land, so I have 5 acres of land now to heal myself. And I don't know what made me do it, but I just went out and did it, and I spent a week there last week, and so I am implementing that more into my life.
Yes, ma'am. There you go. You're doing good. You're doing good, Joy. Keep up the good work. If you need us,
so gratitude for your time. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. If you need us, feel free to call. Feel free to DM us, and we'll be glad to help you.
Okay, I appreciate it. It's been helpful.
All right, peace.
Okay, peace.
All right, you guys. So that's the nutshell of it. All right. So we're just ushering people on in to understanding the mental health aspect of your particular wellness. All right. We got to get you in a conscious state of believing in yourself. If you can believe in yourself, you can heal yourself. If you can believe in yourself, you can be wealthy. If you can believe in yourself, you can have the life that you so surely and eagerly want and desire. You can do this, you guys, and we're going to teach you how. Okay. If you are interested in your owner's manual, please DM us and we'll get you the information that you need. I love you guys, man, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Please go tell somebody about your homie HerbMan. And until next time, love HerbMan. Peace. Appreciate all of you guys, man. We appreciate the 100 or so thousand likes. I love all of you guys, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Thank you very much, you too. Woo-say! Yes, sir. Peace.